CREXI, Crexi. I'll send you a link.
Okay. Yeah, that would be interesting. Just, keep your finger on the pulse, right?
Yeah, right. Here's one. Are we recording now?
I think so, yeah.
Is there anybody else on the call?
Yeah, there's a few people.
Look at it.
A few people joining. I don't know if they are ready, Alex. Doesn't look like the meeting's quite started, but
On it. We serve is on it. Stephanie. Roberta. Hi, Roberta.
everybody's in witness protection for the most part.
Right.
I would be there in person, but with these dogs, I don't have a dog door yet. And yeah, it's just a whole thing I got going on at my house right now. So
No, I'm thrilled you're back up at Prescott. That's wonderful. Much better life up there, especially for the next 3 months, man. It's going to be
right.
another...
I know it was, yeah, we were laughing like we moved just in time for the summer heat.
Yeah, smart.
I see Christine and Jody. Yeah, I do miss the house we had before, because we were in Diamond Valley, which was only had 4 neighbors. We had a wraparound deck, and it was so private. And this house is not private at all. I got neighbors everywhere. So at least we're not on top of each other, but it's still, there's really no privacy. So we're gonna have to plant some trees.
Yeah. I just sent you a Principal James Key that opened up my 1 acre industrial land in Avondale.
All right.
Lisa and I are trying to sell it, so you've got that link from Crexi. That'll give you an idea of the dashboard and what they have to offer. Pretty cool. Nice piece of software.
Isn't it interesting, all these different companies that keep popping up? I was on a webinar yesterday and they were talking about realtors, that we need to keep aware of the companies that are out there that are doing these like cash offer type things where your buyer can, become kind of a cash buyer. Oh, it looks like Mike's trying to talk.
Oh, that was Zoom. Okay, here we go. Much better. Good morning, everyone. Really? Not a good morning? How about on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3. Morning. Hey, that worked. All right. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Good to see you this morning. We're going to jump right into it. A lot of good information for you here. So first things first, as always, we appreciate our partners helping out with our venue and our breakfast and all that kind of stuff today. We're going to start out with Blake and Motto. All right, here, hold on. Motto.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Blake Erickson. For those of you who haven't met me, give the slides. Okay. Yeah, first, just want to start out with a mortgage rate update. Don't want to bore you too long, but this is a snapshot in time that I took yesterday. As you can see, rates have increased. They have been kind of stabilizing though, so that's good news, but it's out of our control, of course. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update on the rates. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for us kids, we're like, oh my God. Yeah. The rates are great, yes. Great. We still have our no cost appraisal going on until April 31st. We will cover up to $600. So this has been a hit amongst a lot of buyers. It's going to be all on primary purchases, and there are a couple parameters that need to be fully executed. So just reach out to me if you have any questions on this. And last but not least, I'm going to introduce you to HomeBot. For those of you who don't know, most of you probably know this by now, but it's a client for life portal that empowers consumers to build wealth through home ownership. So this has been a huge hit amongst a lot of my realtor partners, and a lot of the people who have signed up for this have been loving it. So it's pretty much one of the best tools out there that will help you stay top of mind with your buyer prospects and sellers. What I like most is that it's a set it and forget it marketing service. HomeBot will pretty much do all the work for you. So we do have currently something in the works. Motto is trying to hold a like some kind of luncheon within the next couple weeks. Been talking to Kim about it. We're trying to get the stuff, all the details set straight. So I'll keep you updated for that. And yeah, that is it. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's so there's a lot of things like this out there. It's very saturated. There's a lot of tools that do the same thing, but this is definitely my favorite one. Yeah. All right, that is all. Thank you guys.
And I'll jump in on one little part of that too. I mean, you can kind of see some of this here, but yeah, as Danielle just said, it's a great tool. You can kind of set it and forget it, a little bit of Ron Popeil action for those of us who've been up later at night in the last 2 decades. Set it and forget it. But what I love too is if they have any kind of interaction, it immediately alerts you too. So if they come in and start, playing with rates or saying, "Oh, I did an improvement," or things like that, it gets right in your face. You can do that immediate follow up. So again, it's just a fantastic, two-directional tool. Jody, Title Alliance, come on up here.
Good morning, everyone. So all of you, I'm hoping know me by now. My name is Jody Snyder. I'm the escrow officer at Title Alliance Professionals. Something I just wanted to talk to you about really quick that I've kind of learned through the grapevine that a lot of people don't know about our company is we're, as you know, an affiliated company with Remax Professionals as your title company, but we're also a joint venture company. So what a joint venture company is agents within Remax Professionals actually own stock within our company. So I like to use a comparison or an example. So like, let's say you own stock in Apple, right? And you refer somebody to Apple. You don't see, your shares go up. You don't see your dividends make any extra money because you referred business to Apple. But with Title Alliance, if you are an investor in our company and you send business to us, and you have other agents that you work with and they send business to up, every quarter, you're going to get to see checks that you get go up. So what that means is you own shares within Title Alliance, our main company. Every quarter, we do a dividend investors meeting and you get a check, just like you would if you were on stock in Apple. Some people might say, "Oh, well, I see that as a conflict of interest." It's not a conflict of interest. We are our own company. You can't come up to me and say, "I want you to do my escrow this way." I can't do that. I'm a neutral third party. A lot of you know that. A lot of you probably been mad at me because I haven't given your earnest money back to your client, even though you really felt it should go to them. So something interesting is that we are actually going to be opening up for new shareholders to join our company in the end of April. If that is something that you're interested in learning about, you can come and talk to me. You can go to talk to Nate, or you can even talk to Frank or Michael about it. They'll definitely be able to, inform you more about the options, what you can learn from it, how it works, and everything like that. I'd love to be your escrow officer. You're going to work with me. You're not working with anybody else. You're strictly with Title Alliance Professionals. So just something to let everyone know about. All right.
So for those of you online, the question was location, Title Alliance. They're at the Surprise office right now. And yeah, they're probably either moving to Glendale or potentially a different Surprise suite in the next few months here. So obviously we'll keep you posted when that happens. and Jody's being Jody's being a little humble here because one thing she didn't mention is how fantastic she is. So again, just a fantastic partner to have. And I think part of the point, which she was just mentioning there as well, is title escrow, kind of important part of the business, and it needs to be done somewhere. So it can be if it can be done somewhere, fantastic, where you're just thrilled with the business, and then you can legally actually get profit from that. It's a good combination. Awesome. All right, so another quick thing here. Hey, a couple of milestone service anniversaries. Mark McKenzie, 5 years. Nate Martinez Jr., 10 years. Chuck Bills, 15 years. So a little round of applause here. That's a good thing. What have you learned in the last 10 years, Nate? the look on his face. Oh, interest rates are back to where they were when he started 10 years ago. So interesting. It's come full circle, the circle of life. All right. And obviously, we always love to share some kudos, positivity, things like that. So I'll touch on a few things as I typically do. So these are feedback from your compatriots in the market, other agents out there, and a few I wanted to highlight in particular from the last couple weeks here. Sharon Allwine. Sharon was amazing to work with. Such a smooth transaction. Clicker. Excellent team, super smooth transaction, very organized for Amy and Jake Lombardi. Darrell West, an awesome and understanding communicator. Chuck Bills, stand-up agent, very organized and communicative. Mario Lazoya. Mario was easy to work with. He has a calm and clear communication style and was a pleasure to work with. Any common thread there? Kind of sounds to me like communication is very important, right? So yeah, I mean, again, I love the fact that you guys are such professionals. You know, you make all of us look that much better in the market when you're out there being a RE/MAX professional, doing that clear, calm, concise communication. So keep that up. We could use that. Another wonderful testimonial that Anu just shared with us. This is, hi, Anu and Janice. I just wanted to say thank you for being such a pleasure to work with. So much of the way the market and agents are right now has me frequently questioning whether I want to be continuing in real estate. But dealing with actual caring professionals like yourselves was not only refreshing, but uplifting and encouraging. Wishing you much deserved success moving forward and hope to have the opportunity to work with you in the future. Yeah. And Anu, of course, being who he is, credit where credit's due, he says, man, look at this. Janice makes me look so good. So thank you for that. Always love sharing the love. All right. Also, one other quick thing, just one thing we've been seeing a lot more of is more of the people just kind of coming out of the woodwork. I mean, you guys all know what the market's like. But obviously over the past couple of years, you know, people have been a little bit more insular, maybe not like, you know, leaving the house, peeking out of the blinds every now and then. That's about it. Or seeing a lot more just general activity out there. You know, more walk-ins, more call-ins, things like that are happening again. In particular, Janet actually just mentioned one that you had recently, Steve. Anything interesting about that one you want to share with us?
So they walked into the office and I'm running into this. I got another listing lead. They were looking for RE/MAX and they were from Chicago and they're Cuban Chicago. So that's why they were talking like Scarface, you know? And so I really like that, you know, but they were just straight shooting guys and I straight shooting, but you know, he wanted to buy a house for 250,000 and I had to educate him really quick. But they ended up getting a house for 270 in Circle City in Morristown, and just now they're in my database. They're going to be lifelong people, but yeah, but they were looking for RE/MAX, you know, and when I got this lead from Referral Exchange yesterday, it was a listing lead in Maricopa, and I looked at it and it was right on the golf course, so I wanted it, and so when I called the guy, he goes, "What company are you from?" I go, "RE/MAX," and then I, you know. And then he goes, "Oh, RE/MAX."
My heart, like at the first couple. I just don't know the.
But I think
Absolutely. Thanks, Steve. Again, we like to hear about and share success and make sure you guys are thinking about these kind of things. Doesn't hurt to actually be in the office sometimes. Very nice. All right, speaking of the power of the brand and networking and referrals and all that kind of stuff, R4 was a month ago. Can you believe that? Like time's kind of flying here. But just last week, we kind of threw up this little quick retrospective video. I thought I'd share it here as well because it's fun.
Like if you didn't have a club, they led.
All right, so that's a good time, right? Those of you in the room that were there, did you enjoy yourselves? Okay. we're 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 laughing hard because of the amount of enjoyment some folks in this room had, but that's okay. That's good. Depending on how much of Vegas you remember, I guess is the question. But so one of the things that we always like to talk about is, what did you learn and what did you actually commit to do with what you learned, right? Nate and I sometimes joke about, how over the years we've had some very, very smart folders, right? Where like, you go to a conference, pick up stuff, you take all these notes, that kind of thing. And it's in your binder, you got some bullet points, you're all excited about it. And then that super smart folder or binder sits on your desk and then eventually it moves into a drawer, and then maybe you've not really done much with what's in there. So, that's kind of what I want to think about. We don't need to discuss it right now because, that can take an hour easily ourselves. But I know from chatting with so many of you that there are a lot of really great ideas, really great inspiration there. The real question is, have you put that into action yet? You got to find those couple things you can actually execute upon. And, if there's something that you haven't, that you've been thinking about, that's sitting there as a bullet point, that kind of thing, talk to us about that. We're happy to help you out, get past some of those roadblocks. So along that line of thinking, we were all at one of our birthday and anniversary lunches just last week. And, it's so great, again, to be together with people in a space and just chatting about things. And I still, after coming up on 17 years here with Remax Professionals, one of my very, very favorite things is how we're so collaborative, right? Everyone's happy to share their best ideas, best thoughts, strategies, tactics with everyone else, just openly, honestly. And that back and forth, leads us to so many other good things. And I know like everyone has that same tendency, right? But especially the last couple of years here, we haven't had nearly as many opportunities to actually do that, right? Anu, that was great discussion just last week, don't you think? Yeah, lots of really great ideas. And again, it was just because we were sitting around a table, we didn't like schedule it to talk about, some of those strategies and big picture things and all that. But again, that's what comes out when we chat. So having said all that, I'm going to give us that many more opportunities to just get into some of those kinds of discussions and actually reap some of those benefits as well. So as you guys know, we've got a number of different masterminds going on. Nothing's really changing there. Those are, coming back into the schedule, and we're kind of shuffling some of the groups a little bit based on some of the feedback. But what I want to do is not overthink it for a change. I know, coming from me, that's weird, right? Very a little nervous laughter in the room. I'm aware, thank you. But the idea here is, like I said, not to overthink this, not to try to break this into like a whole bunch of different categories, that sort of thing, but just to have a regular kind of general mastermind. And yeah, we'll put a little bit of structure around it, see if there's some specific topics that are on your mind. But again, just create another forum where we can jump in, talk a little bit, collaborate, get those juices flowing, and get some of those other great ideas, or help you guys get past roadblocks on things that you already know are great ideas, but just haven't been able to execute. So look for more information on this next week. And the one thing I want to say on that before we move on is if you've got some things that you could use help with, please jump in. If you don't have anything you particularly need help with, please jump in. Because again, that's one of the things that I love. Even if you don't have something that you want someone else to help you solve necessarily, you'll still get something out of it from that back and forth. And again, so many of you can then help those other folks with what they're running into. Again, it's that collaboration that goes both ways in beautiful, unexpected ways sometimes. So take a look for that. Please join us. I think that'll be a lot of fun. All right, so as we saw briefly in that video too, just a reminder, Remax, first brand to close over 2 million transaction sides in a year. And we see a lot of that coming through in the recent RISMedia Power Broker report that just came out last week. So one thing I'll note in particular is very obvious. If you look at the top 100 in that report and look at that based on transactions per agent, since again, I think as you all are very well aware, Remax, the franchises, don't do the same thing that some of those other companies do, which is take every single person they can find throughout the nation and, put them all under one number and then say, hey, look how awesome we are. And if you look and say, oh, okay, well, their average is actually like, 2 transactions a year per agent, maybe it's not as awesome, right? So if we look at transactions per agent, Remax has 86 of the top 100 spots by that metric, which I think is pretty impressive. Here locally, again, no big surprise here. This red bar is Remax professionals. The next couple are other Remax folks in our market. So again, these are the folks that are actually in the Power Broker report. And once again, so this is, I think, 16 years running now. Remax professionals is at the top there, productivity per agent. I mean, you guys are incredible. It's not a fluke at this point, right? We don't accidentally keep outperforming everyone else. This is good stuff. Well, yes, of course. So yeah, of course, Cindy is asking, oh, this is good stuff. Hey, can we actually use it? Yes, which is my last point on this slide, which is, again, we've got the raw data here. So yes, we're revamping all those various marketing materials and whatnot. There's some other talking points as well we want to put in there so you guys can potentially use this as well. One that I really like too is our little company here, our little powerhouse. We're still in the top 1/2 of 1% of brokerages in the United States. I mean, that's incredible. And that's not based on just transactions per agent. That's even just looking at sales volume or number of transactions, just the pure overall number, not breaking it down to our smaller group of agents, right? Again, no matter how you look at that, that's very impressive. So yes, we're putting all that together, and we'll have all that stuff out to you as well. So you can really put it out there, shout it, and be proud of who you are and what you do. All right, and with that, Broker Shannon's got a few updates for us, so I am going to hand it on over to her.
Good morning, you guys. So I just wanted to share really quick, the last couple of days, I was at the NAR Broker Summit and been to the Remax convention last month, so my head's a little full, so bear with me. But I just want to share, there are going to be a lot of things that I learned from this that I want to bring to you guys. They won't have the slides to us until after today, but a couple of points that they brought up that I thought were really great and reminded me, because I'm like you guys, sometimes I get a little frustrated with all the rules and policies, and because I'm the one who has to tell you about them and hear about them when you don't like them. So, but it made me very proud to be a realtor again. And I know that sounds strange, but it made me proud to have that and to know that we abide by the code of ethics and that everything we do is for the better of the entire good and the country. And seeing it on that level, I think there were only 3 Arizona brokers there, and I believe there were about 300 of us, of brokers from around the country in the summit this week. It was here. Yeah, it was crazy that I didn't see more Arizona folks, but it made me very proud, and it made me realize sometimes we get stuck in our own little world and forget about what's going on in the big picture and how much they're doing for us and our associations do for us. And it also reminded me of the mastermind we did a week or two ago regarding some of the iBuyer challenges and getting listings and some of the things we're competing with there. And when you hear about what NAR is doing on a national scale and how 1.5 million members that we have that are not really involved to the level they could be, how powerful we could be against some of those things we're competing with in terms of the advertising and the things that we're seeing and all the money behind all these REITs. So I just would encourage you to get involved, start paying attention to a lot of those things. They've done a lot for us between the pandemic and locally, allowing us to continue working, whereas a lot of places they weren't able to just more recently not getting the 1031 exchanges out of the legislation that was trying to be pushed through, to saving that for us. I see a lot of those transactions coming through right now, and that is a huge part of our business, particularly with the retirement communities we have and that sort of thing as well. So I just want you to think about some of that and maybe get more involved sometimes in some of those things. They also had Lawrence Zoon, if you guys are familiar, he's the chief economic officer. And he did a whole presentation on where we're going with things and that sort of thing. And one thing he brought up, and for the mortgage folks in the room, maybe you'll be able to tell me if this is true or not, but he said that the rates have jumped is a lot steeper than what the Fed has increased. And what he thinks the reason is for that is they're trying to get ahead of it so that as it increases, they won't have to do it again. And so what we see in this increase might be a little more level than what we see the Fed doing in the background if they continue to raise. He said he thinks they're where they were anticipating like 6 increases. Now it might be more like 8, 10, 12 over the next couple of years, or more sooner potentially. But that was kind of reassuring to me that if we can stay at 5, even 6 for a while, that will help us, and particularly before things keep inflating as fast as they are, that might help us now. So that was, I thought, an interesting point and a little hope there that we're not going to see that, but we are going to see affordability being a challenge. I think they talked about that. I think we all know it, but I want to bring all of those slides. They're going to provide all that data and I will bring it back to you guys, but I just wanted to share those couple of bullets right now. It was a really great conference. And again, just encourage you guys to get involved. They do a lot of good stuff for us. So appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and bring up our guest today from HomeLight. So we're gonna take just a second here to switch over to their presentation. I'm not gonna say a lot here because I'm gonna let them right into it, but some of you may be familiar with them from the referral programs that they've had in the past. Well, they've got a lot of awesome newer offerings as well, especially on the listing side, helping out with like, contingencies. And again, some of the other things that you guys are running into potentially with, like iBuyers who you're viewing as competition in some ways because of, what they can do with close dates and things like that. Just another really interesting tool for you to take a look at here. So please welcome them and give them your attention here.
How's everybody doing today? I'm just killing time for Andrew here. I don't have any. They're all I'm a dad. All my jokes are dad jokes. I'm Justin. I'll be the client manager that you guys will be dealing with when clients are involved. I'll be taking your clients from start to finish. We'll be on the Zoom calls together. Sorry, you're going to have to see this mug more often. Yep, I have a face for radio. But I think Andrew's going to kind of go through the slide presentation. I'll touch on a few things, and then I think we're just going to open it up and get out of your hair. Has anybody here heard of HomeLight? 1, 2, 3, 4, a few. Okay. Has anybody had buyers with a home sale contingency? Okay. We're going to show you how to get rid of that today. Okay.
Appreciate it, sir. Hello, you guys. How you guys doing today? My name's Andrew Greaves. Like Justin said, I'm with HomeLight. I've been with HomeLight since July. Justin and I opened up the Arizona market in October. So if you guys don't know much about HomeLight, we started in 2016, based out of California, San Francisco. And we expanded to Texas, Florida, Colorado, Arizona, and we're expanding in other markets. Arizona was one of the last ones to expand. And when we did, we opened up the products, like I said, in October, and we were just taking off with our trade-in and cash offer product. So today, the two programs, we're going to go high level of the actual programs, what it looks like afterwards. If you guys is something you're interested in, we'll talk offline what that looks like. We'll get you guys certified to utilize these products in the open market. But before we jump in, tell me some of the challenges you guys are seeing right now in your market. Okay. And any other challenges? So she said buyers being bought out by cash offers. Okay. Sellers are afraid to list their house because they're not sure where they're going to end up. That's a big one. Any other ones? Is inventory a big issue for you guys? Everyone's like, everyone should know inventory. Yeah, very true. So the focus here is our goal is to create solutions for you as agents. We want to make sure when you go into a listing presentation or a buyer consultation, you have a solution to get these people off the fence or get them out there in the market and help them win on that deal. So again, we're going to go high overview on this product. So our trade-in program, what do I do with my clicker? It's around here somewhere. Our trade-in program allows all of your clients to buy before they sell. Our cash offer program makes every buyer a cash buyer going out to the market. Justin, too many pockets. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Justin, handle this. Let's go. Justin, yeah. Yeah, let's see. Awesome. So high overview of the actual program. So this is our trade-in program. So how it works is when your client trades into HomeLight, what that looks like for you as the agent, you're going to fill out a questionnaire. That questionnaire is going to have 20 questions. You're going to create a CMA. You're going to tell us what you feel that home would trade for on open market. You're going to do that before you schedule a call with Justin. When you do that, we're going to unlock 90% of that equity up front. That will make them non-contingent, allow them to go out to the market and start shopping for homes. When your client moves into their home, they have a close of escrow date, let's say April 18th. We're going to close on the departing residence on April 16th, 2 days prior. And then from that point, we give it to you as the agent to sell on open market. When you sell on open market, and let's say we list it for 400, the home sells for 420. Your client is getting the upside of that transaction, including that additional 10% we didn't unlock up front, and you guys are collecting full commissions. With our program, whatever you negotiate with your client when you sell on our behalf, whatever you negotiate with your client in terms of commissions, that is what we pay you in the program. And again, our program is consumer centric. We want to make sure the consumer is getting everything possible out of that property. To utilize this program, it's a 1% fee to the consumer. And how, that's the number one pushback that we get is like, I don't want to pay 1%. But what we've noticed, and Justin is able to actually go over those stats with a consumer, is a vacant and staged home will sell to 2 to 6% more in this market. So that trade-in 1% ends up being a wash to the consumer. Let's see if the clicker works now. The seller. The question was, who pays the 1%? The seller to HomeLight. Just give up on it. I'll just give up on it. I'll do it. Yes. Oh, wait. 2 transactions, I mean when he actually trades in? No, it's only one transaction. So the question is, you understand the question? So it closed on the 16th, 2 days prior. So yes, there'll be 2 transactions on the buy and the sell. Yep. That's gonna help you.
So the question is there 2 transactions with the trade-in? So there's 2 transactions, but it's one on the sell side and one on the buy side. Okay, so what's going to happen is before you're getting ready to close on the new home, you need funds in order to put as a down payment on the new home. In order to release those funds, we have to close on the old home. We then take ownership and we send over that predetermined amount of money to the new home. They're able to close on the new home, and then they can move out of the old home into the new home. And then that's when it would get listed on the market. So if your question is what shows on county assessor, technically it's going to show HomeLight takes ownership, and then 30, 45 days later, the new owners would take ownership. And I think that's what you're asking. Yeah, so with VA, we sometimes have to close like 4 days early in order to release the old VA so that they can have the eligibility for the new VA. But so far, we haven't run into any conventional loan funding issues.
So here's the workflow on how this actually happens. So one of the key things about this program that I love is your job as the agent is just to sell a high overview of the actual program, create a solution for the consumer where, hey, if you're looking to buy before you sell, I have a solution for you. We're going to schedule a call with my client manager, Justin Rep. He's going to go over the program. Allow Justin to sell the program to your client. I'm going to work with you guys on scripting and how to position it to the consumer. So when they have that initial meeting in week 1 with Justin again is going to go over the fine numbers with them. Your clients are going to know to the penny what they're going to get on that first release of the check. They say, hey, we love this product. Let's move forward with it. He's going to conditionally approve that property based on your questionnaire and that CMA that you guys provide us. Your client's also going to get a HomeLight home loans application. You guys will have an inspection order. The inspector is going to go out to the property. They're going to give us a list of things that need to get repaired that we'll hold back as a credit to the incoming buyer. Those repairs are not required. Then your clients are going to have a second call with Justin. Once that inspector comes back with those numbers, to actually go over the final numbers again, so your clients know to the penny what they're getting on that first release. And at the point they sign that trade agreement, that is our guarantee and when we're going to purchase that property. We're guaranteeing that at minimum, we're going to purchase that home for 90%. And your clients can then start shopping for homes. The biggest mistake that agents do make is they're excited about this program. They go meet with Justin, and that first day they start showing their clients homes. Again, in order to make them non-contingent, they have to sign that trade agreement. So it takes about 5 to 7 days to go through that trade-in process. So again, just like at the beginning, when your client finds their dream home, we close 2 days prior, we flip it back to you as the agent to sell on open market. When that home sells for ask or over ask, your client's getting that additional 10% and the upside of that transaction. Any questions so far? You're jumping ahead. You're on like 8 slides. We'll get there. Don't you worry about that. So our question was that referring to our cash offer program, which we'll get into in just a second.
Justin, can you hear us on the Zoom?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Can they?
Yeah, we can definitely hear you.
I don't think they can hear us.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you on Zoom. If you'd like, you can go ahead and ask your question.
So my question was specifically for if you guys own the house and we put it on the market and a buyer comes through that's FHA or VA, typically there's a wait time. How is that impacted with your guys' program?
So how it works is like any traditional sale. So with the program, the fee timeline starts when we close escrow on the departing residents. So pretty much your client, that 1% starts, and your client, it's 1% for the first 30 days, it's prorated 1% for every 30 days after. So for VA, FHA, as long as it closes, they don't incur that additional fee, do they? Just double check with Justin here. Yeah. Is that better? Hear me on Zoom? So Justin said that the 90-day flip rule will hinder them from actually purchasing that property. Did I answer your question? Can she still hear me on Zoom? Okay. So any other questions on the workflow of the actual trade-in process? And again, once you guys are certified, we'll go more in depth on this. So again, to utilize the program, it's 1% for the first 30 days and it's prorated 1% for every 30 days after. In the Maricopa County area, your client's looking to spend about 1.5% to 2% utilizing this program. Prescott, Flagstaff is about 17 days on market. Tucson's about 14 days on market right now. It just doesn't love me. So I'm going to bring Justin up. Justin's going to actually go over the mechanics of the numbers. So this is something that Justin goes over with your client. So when you guys set up that trade-in call with Justin, he's going to go through all the numbers with your client so they know exactly to the penny what they're getting. So here you go.
Every presentation, I say how much I don't like this slide. Because what this looks like in real life is it's so much more informative. Because where you see all these numbers, the debits, there's actually it actually drops down and explains what each of those equates to. So I'm going to do my best to explain it in a way that makes sense by still utilizing this slide. But basically, after you send in your questionnaire, we do inspections. Your clients will send in photos. We're going to do a valuation of the home. So in this particular case, the valuation comes back at $400,000. Now, we're not going to give them pennies on the dollar because we're not making any profit on the home. Really, the goal is to get the valuation to match what you think the valuation is. You're the experts in the market. So we're trying to get it as high or as close to what we think the list price will be. So in this case, $400,000, we're going to release 90% of that up front. We're going to hold back enough to cover things like agent fees, listing prep work, property ownership, trade-in fee. What this all breaks out to is you have the agent commissions, and then you have 60 days for property tax, property insurance, HOA if applicable, and the HomeLight fee. If the home, from the time HomeLight buys it to the time the new folks close on it is less than 60 days, which it is totally from start to finish, including escrow, average in Arizona is 37 days. So that would be prorated back to them, and it would be on the second check, which is down here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So listing prep work, that's totally voluntary. Do they want to replace the carpet, do painting when they move out so that they can get a higher list price? HomeLight will hold back from the first equity check, pay for that directly to the subs, and nothing comes out of your client's pocket directly. That property ownership, that's going back to the property tax, all that good stuff. And then the HomeLight fee. The way the HomeLight fee works is it's 1% for the first 30 days, and it's 1% for the second 30 days prorated. Okay, so if day one, you get a cash offer day one, that's a 20-day close. So 21, 22 days later, the deal closes, that's still 1%, right? 30 days or less, 1%. If it's 45 days, now you're halfway into the second month, that's prorated 15 days, so 1.5%. So they take all of that, take the amount that's owed on the home, caveat to that, if they have leased or financed solar, we will hold back to pay off the entire balance. We cannot transfer a solar lease with this program. From that comes the net to them on the first check. So in this case, 166,000. 2 days before they're closing on the new home, that's when we close on their old home. We would send that 166,000 over to the new home, and then they're able to move into the new home. And now at the next stage here, where you see the 420, that's when the home now is actually listed, and then it sells in this example for 420,000. The only numbers that are going to change slightly are anything percentage based. So they only held back for 400,000 valuation. So agent fees will go up a little bit because the price went up a little bit, and the HomeLight fee will go up a little bit because the home price sold for a little bit more. But they got the upside, plus they get the 10%. So the second check, or bank wire, sorry, I still write checks, I'm almost 50. The bank wire will go to them when they're already living in their new home. Okay, so this second check won't be used on the down payment for the new home because they'll have already closed. Questions? Yeah, so her question is, how does HomeLight make money? Right? So do you want me to give the full? Okay. So HomeLight, the percentage that we charge is really for, you guys are familiar with like hard money, right? So there's a carry cost anytime you have a hard money loan. So this fee basically covers our hard money loan, if you want to think about it that way. Where HomeLight makes their money as well is with HomeLight home loans. So this product is utilized with HomeLight home loans. HomeLight home loans, just like other lenders, once they close on the new property, they'll sell that loan on the secondary market. And that's where HomeLight makes the money. We also have HomeLight closing services. So we do have money's made on title and escrow as well. Now that you mentioned that, we cannot require you to use HomeLight home loans. You are welcome to use another lender, but what changes on that is that fee at the 1% will go to 3%. So 3% for the first 30 days, 1% for the second 30 days prorated. We don't have any loan origination fees. Our rates are super competitive. So we do have a great loan product, but that's for another time. Question. Everything is paid for upfront by HomeLight, whether it's inspections, doing listing prep work, anything like that. We're going to pay for that, and then we just hold it back from the equity check. Now, if they cancel, they change their mind, they've gone through the whole process, they sign the trade-in agreement, they just decide not to use the program for whatever rhyme or reason. They're not going to get a bill in the mail for the inspections. We're going to part ways as friends. No legal obligations or anything like that. They're only charged, taken from the equity if they move forward. 2 million, but I can work to get an exception over that if the surrounding areas can justify a higher price. Listing prep work and timelines. Yes, go ahead. Mhm. Great. So the question is regarding listing prep work right now and labor shortage, right? Things are just taking longer to get done. So we give 10 days for listing prep work to be completed. It's kind of a loosely estimated, but you as the agent are in charge of the vendors. We'll pay them directly, but you're in charge of getting any listing prep work in there. The trade-in program does not work for massive renovation because at that point it just becomes cost prohibitive because they're already incurring the costs for the first 30 days. Paint and carpet, in theory, should be able to get done in 10 to 14 days. If subs are scheduled prior to closing, right? I flip houses, I get it. My 3-month flips now take 6-7 months. But we're flexible, but keep it in mind. All right. Anybody, I want to look up there like that's Zoom. Okay.
Awesome. So some of the qualifications for this program on the lending side, which you'll see on the left-hand side, is 5% down. We do jumbo loans, 10% plus reserves, and 620 credit score. What I will say with that is have the credit conversation with your clients. I've talked to a lot of agents. They said we never talk to our clients about credit. It's very simple. Our clients don't know their credit score. There's a lot of free apps out there. But what I will say is in order to qualify for this program, you need a 620 credit score. Do you have a 620 credit score higher? Absolutely. Great. Then submit that opportunity over to HomeLight. On the home side, on homes we will accept and won't accept. Homes we do not accept with this program, 55 plus communities, manufactured homes, land. This can be for primary or secondary residence. Homes value between 200 and 2 million, like Justin said. He on case-by-case basis, he'll get an exception over $2 million. Square footage between 750 and 7,500. Has public water connection, is not a short sale, does not require major repairs, and any solar loan lien has been released. Slide. So we don't need to go over the rest of the slides. We'll just for that piece. So that is the trade-in product, a high-level overview of the trade-in product itself. What questions do you guys have with that we haven't covered yet? Yeah, so a news question was, if they sign the trade agreement and it takes several months to find their home, does that affect that consumer? The answer is no. That is the beauty of it. I'm sure you guys seen 72 sold right now, right? For 72 sold, going in, they said, hey, you can live in your house 6 months for free. Why I would suggest you guys use this as a solution to pivot against that is because we know that equity is going up in this market significantly. So by them doing that, that consumer accepting that, they're losing 6 months of equity in this property. So with HomeLight, they can keep all that equity if it takes them 6 months to find their next home. Only thing we do is we do a check at 30 days, every 30 days to make sure the home is still in good shape. And obviously you want to watch market trends, right? If the home's worth more, we want to be able to make sure your clients get as much out of the home as possible. So there's no time frame on this. Like Justin said, if for some reason they decide they want to back out, we cut ties, we close as friends, and they can revisit another time. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yep. The question was if, in 3 months, we used the example earlier at 400, in 3 months, the home's valued at 430. Will we use the value of that 400 still, or we use the value of the 430? We'll use the value of the 430. So those are market trends we're going to keep it every 30 days we're going to look at. Any other questions on that? Awesome. So we'll jump into our cash offer program. It's very simple. I believe trade-in has a lot of moving parts with our cash offer program. It's very simple in my opinion. So easy 30-minute application. Would you mind going back one slide? Right there. Thank you. Easy 30-minute application. We do full upfront underwriting within 24 hours. We have zero lender fees. You're gonna have the same dedicated mortgage advisor, Rick Tweeda. We guarantee the closing will be back with 100,000 EMD. Next slide. So for some reason, if HomeLight messes up on anything and your client loses their earnest money, we'll back it up to $100,000. So here's the workflow on this program. So your client fills out that 30-minute HomeLight home loans application. They're going to have the initial meeting with Rick, the mortgage advisor. It takes about 10-15 minutes to actually go over the program, tell them next steps. And then your client can start shopping for homes. Now, when your client starts shopping for homes, they love 122 Main Street. And they say, hey, I want to make an offer on this home. You're going to send that address back to HomeLight for us to do a desktop appraisal within 4 hours. Your client wants to make an $800,000 offer. You send that address to us. We say, hey, we feel this home's going to appraise at 790. Your client, because we did that full upfront underwriting, your client has 10,000 in reserves. We go ahead and give you the green light to move forward. Your client's going to sign our cash offer agreement, and you can submit that offer to that seller. When you submit the offer to the seller, you're going to write in your client's name, and we're going to provide you our proof of funds. And at that point, once that offer is accepted, we'll order that appraisal and order the inspections. There's two different types of programs within this program. We have an express model. If your client wants to close as quick as 8 days, less than 21 days, it's 1% fee. Now, how I position this to consumers is more times than not, when you go to any traditional lender, your lender is going to charge you anywhere from 1% to 3% to go to the market with a conventional loan. To close as quick as 8 days with HomeLight, you're going to the market with cash for 1%. Now, if your client is okay with a 21-day close, the program is completely free. And again, the qualifications for this program, 620 credit score and 5% down. And that is the mechanics of cash offer program. Any questions on that? Yes, sir. Correct. Yeah, so yep. So the question is what happens if the buyer doesn't qualify for a second loan? They go through the loan process. That's why we do that full upfront underwriting. So we know exactly within 24 hours if they're going to get approved for that loan. It's not a pre-qual where they go out, anything can happen with red flags. We eliminate that by fully underwriting them. Now, with this program, HomeLight's guaranteeing that we're purchasing this property. We're guaranteeing to the seller that we're going to purchase that property, regardless if for some reason your client can't move forward after that contract's accepted. Go ahead. Correct. And to your point earlier, we touched on, so your client goes through the trade-in process. They go out to the market with cash, utilizing our cash program. We then flip the trade-in back to you as the agent to sell an open market. They're already moved into this home. We take possession of the departing residence. You as the agent put on open market. You sell for top dollar. Your client gets that second check. That answer your first question? Correct. Depending on which program they want to go with, right? So if they trade into HomeLight, it's a 1 to 1.5% trade-in fee. Now, if they use the cash offer going out to the market and they want to close as quick as 8 days, it's an additional 1% on that piece. Now, if they want to close in 21 days or more, the program's free on the cash offer side. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, a news question is, can you use both products or can you just use just one product? So both products are standalone products. If your client wants to use a trade-in only product, which I suggest, there's a lot of iBuyers in the market right now that are paying, 86 cents on the dollar for the actual property. I would still suggest getting your clients over to the trade-in product because to utilize that program by itself, it's a 3% fee. Now, with that being said, your client is still seeing the upside when that home sells. It's 2% now. Now it's a 2% fee. They change this programs all the time. Yeah. So it's a 2% fee if it's a trade-in only. But again, your client's still seeing the upside when that home sells. So they're going to see more than what the iBuyers are going to pay. Now on the cash offer piece, every buyer that you have should go through the program because again, if they have a 620 credit score, 5% down, this is the program for them. Because again, it's free at 21 days or more. And it's 1% to go to the market with cash with an 8-day close. Yes, sir. Yeah, so right now we only do conventional loans. We're introducing a BA product hopefully by the end of this month. And then in August, we'll be a traditional lender where we'll be offering, we able to buy down points, all different types of things. I can find out for you. That's more of a Rick Tweeta, the mortgage advisor question, but not to say I'll get you the right answer for that. There you go, HomeLightHomeLoans.com. You put 620 credit score and put the 5% down. Yeah, so our mortgage advisor is going to be updating you guys on everything throughout the whole process. On the trade-in piece, Justin's going to be updating you guys on everything throughout the whole process as well. So the question was, if as a realtor, where are you guys getting the updates from? You'll be getting it directly from the mortgage advisor and his assistant. Yep. Yeah, they're licensed LL. Yeah, Arizona for mortgage. Yeah. So they're traditional lenders on our team. We only have one in Arizona right now. So how everything works on our end is everything's done in-house in Scottsdale. And again, we don't want you guys to have to sell this product. Justin is the one who sells the trade-in. Rick Tweet is the one who sells the mortgage side of it. And you guys will have constant communication with both of them. Like Justin said earlier, he is your point of contact with anything in regards to trade-in. And I'll get you guys an introduction to Rick as well. And how our systems are powered on the back end when it comes to our service levels. So at the end of every transaction you guys have with HomeLight, if it's through a trade-in, cash offer, or title and escrow, you guys will both get a survey for you and your client. If it says, it'll say exceed expectations, met expectations, or below expectations. If that survey doesn't come back as exceed expectations, no one on our team gets paid on that transaction. And the reason we do that is because our job is to vet agents and brokerages that we feel are going to be a great fit for our product, to go to the consumer and say, hey, you're going to have the best experience with this solution. We have to be able to deliver that on the back end when it comes to our team. Across the board. Yes, sir. Yeah. So his question is, with the market going up, what if the market does start to drop down a little bit and that home value goes from 400 to 380? So our guarantee to that consumer when they sign that trading agreement, at minimum, we're paying the 90%. If for some reason it's less than that, we're eating the cost of it. So they know that by signing the trading agreement, at minimum, we're doing the 90%. Obviously, with the market the way it's at, we haven't seen that in HomeLight history. We haven't sold a home for less than 90%. In Arizona, we haven't sold one for less than ask. Yeah. Oh, you never know. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's going to be HomeLight's proof of funds. I think it has $1 billion on there, right? Yeah. So yeah, we submit HomeLight's proof of funds on that deal. And we give it to you as the agent. Rick will send that information. He'll send you step by step on what that looks like and how to submit that offer to the seller. Did that answer your question? Yeah. And to be honest with you, that's happened several times. We're like, who's HomeLight? Whose cash is this? So one thing I would suggest is Rick has called every seller and told them exactly why they should accept this offer versus any other offer, and he's won every time. So if ever you have a seller that's in question of our product, say, hey, Rick, this seller doesn't believe that HomeLight's real. They think they're another iBuyer. Can you get on the phone and give him a call? Every time he's won that deal. Yes, sir. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So the question was, are you required to use HomeLight closing services? And the answer is no. But what I would tell you is we are a flat fee company, so we're $400 on the escrow side. So we're saving clients about $1,200 when it comes to the escrow fee. And with great service, because again, with those surveys, no one gets paid unless they're amazing at what they do. And again, they're based on Scottsdale. Any other questions on either program? Yes, ma'am. Of course. It's all document. Well, for closing, you can do it in person if you want. Or we can have a courier. Obviously, you guys are on the west side. We can have a courier come out to you for docs there. But everything else is done, like the application for the HomeLight home loans done online. When you submit opportunities to Justin, they're going to go over the program with you, and your clients can be done over Zoom. So the question was, I'm sorry about that. The question was, is everything documents, everything done online? In terms of closing, the documents will be done in person with you and your client, with submitting trading opportunities as well as cash offer opportunities. It's all going to be done through the HomeLight portal. Yes, sir. Yeah. Justin.
I want to say it's section 8 where you can add additional terms. It basically says that this contract can be assigned to HomeLight and its assignees or something to that effect. So what will happen is you write the contract in John Smith, Susie Smith's name, and then when it comes into HomeLight, they look at it and they go, oh, 8-day close. They will assign it to themselves. HomeLight will close on it, and then a second escrow will open up for John and Susie Smith. If it's just your standard 21-day cash offer, you're writing it in their name. The assignee language is still in there, but the reason for that is should something happen down the line, the client decides they don't want to buy the home anymore, HomeLight is obligated for that second one to buy the home. We would then assign it to ourselves and we would close on the home. So the language is just in there should it be needed. Otherwise, it's just ignored and it just closes in John and Susie Smith's name. Does that help explain it? Yeah, so it's 21 days or more, and it's called a guaranteed close. What happens is you're going in there as an all cash offer with using proof of funds with HomeLight. What's happening behind the scenes and the language that's in the contract basically says, and don't quote me on exactly how it's said, how it's written, but it's basically saying 21-day close, all cash, or if we can close a mortgage in 21 days and close on the same date, we'll do a mortgage. And so what's guaranteed to the seller is all cash on this date, unless we can close a traditional mortgage on that same date. If for any reason it can't close, or our client, your client, needs 3 more days and it's supposed to close on that date, HomeLight will step in, they will buy the home all cash no matter what, and then we'll just have another escrow at no additional cost to the client, just to give them that extra time to make sure they can close and get the home. So it is too good to be true, but it is true. It's not only a cash offer, it's guaranteeing them a close. Yeah, it does function like a cash offer. You are waiving the appraisal contingency. There's still going to be an appraisal done. And so what happens when you first do the cash offer is we're going to do a desktop appraisal. And we're going to tell you, hey, this is where we think it's going to appraise based on what you're qualified for, plus your reserves. Here's your max cash offer. So somebody could go out in the market and say, hey, this house is 500, but we're going to need to offer 525, 530 in order to win the deal. As long as they have the reserves and they're okay with the appraisal gap being there, that they're going to basically have to come out of pocket, then they can write the offer for that. Now, if for some reason we say it's going to appraise at 500, it appraises at 490, HomeLight will actually step in and finance that 10% gap so that they don't have to come out of pocket for the appraisal gap. They're only responsible for whatever that additional appraisal gap is that they agreed to in the first place. I don't know exactly how it works, to be honest with you. That would be a great Rick question. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm not even going to speculate or guess.
So the question is once the actual appraisal is done, that's what HomeLight is, that's going to be the number HomeLight is willing to purchase that home at? Correct. So oh, yeah. So not on the buy side when they're going out to on the sell side. Okay. So I think I thought, yeah, no, I was thinking you were talking about when your client's going out to make an offer on a home. Is that what you're referring to? Or you're talking about the trade-in program? Yeah, so I think Justin wanted to tackle this, but so the question was, how are we basically coming up with the number on the trade-in piece? Or if we're coming up with the number that's market value, I'll speak my piece on, I'll let Justin jump into it. So, okay, so go ahead and jump into it, Justin.
Okay, a couple things with that. So it's not, we're not having an appraisal done. We're doing an internal valuation with looking at pictures, comparables, your questionnaire, and the inspections. We're taking all of that, combining it together, and that's the valuation price. Okay. In theory, this is the price that the home should be listed at or sell at. Okay. We know it's probably going to sell for more, but with an iBuyer, so we're not making a profit on that, right? Your client gets the upside. An iBuyer is going to give you 85 cents on the dollar, something to that effect, maybe 90%, maybe even more than that, whatever. But the difference here is that the home hasn't hit the market yet. So they're getting the 90%, the standard iBuyer money up front. And then the home gets listed and they get that 10% plus the upside, right? So could an iBuyer come in and buy that home that's listed from you for more than list price like we see happening? Sure. But your client captures all of the upside. If they sell to an iBuyer, again, there's circumstances where they have crazy offers, but for the most part, they're going to get less than 100% of the value. With this program, they're getting 100% plus the upside. They're just getting 90% of it up front. It's not an appraisal. It's just our internal workings doing that. On the buy side, when we say that we'll guarantee to buy that home, if they decide not to buy it, let's say that it appraised for 500, but they had made the offer at 550. HomeLight will step in and buy that home at 550. Yeah. Yep. It's a guaranteed close. So we are guaranteeing that price on that date. No exceptions, no excuses. Well, I didn't say that. Okay, the long and the short of it is you're going to do like a 1% earnest money deposit when you write the contract roughly. In order to use the cash offer program, it's a 5% cash offer deposit, right? So they're basically giving their down payment up front. If they decide to back out of the program, then they're going to potentially lose their 5% that they put as the down payment. Now, we are not a black and white. We have gray area. We're going to do what we can to work with somebody. If there's extenuating circumstances, they're probably going to lose the 1%. There's not a lot we can do about that, right? That's contractual, but we're going to do all we can to get that 4% back to them. As far as I know, we've only one time kept it. And it was just a flat out, the guy just didn't want to buy the house. Wasn't anything other reasons. Any last questions? And then you have him for as long as you need, but I have an appointment. I have to get back to Scottsdale. Okay. He's going to eventually send out my email. So just shoot me an email if you have questions. Nice meeting you guys.
So yeah, so what it looks like after this, if you guys are interested, I'll get with Nate to actually go over this and we'll certify you. It can be either in person or over Zoom. We'll go more in depth on the program. Today was just high overview to give you guys an idea of what HomeLight's doing in the market. And then from there, once we certify you, I'll show you how to walk through and submit any opportunity through HomeLight and get you guys going. Do you guys have any other questions for myself? Well, thank you so much for your guys' time today.
All right, so you guys think you could find some opportunities to use this kind of program? All right, absolutely, yeah, good stuff. So as you mentioned, more to come on this, more detail, and of course, if you have questions in the meantime, let us know. We'll get their information out as well, so you can, get more in depth on those pieces if you like. But again, more to come on this. They kind of, believe it or not, did an abridged version for us here today because there's obviously a lot of detail, a lot of questions, those sort of things. So we'll make sure there's opportunity to get deeper on those pieces as well. But with that, everyone have a great April. See you soon.